Tell me now what we got ahead of us. Show me what I haven't seen. I'm not trying to be mean. I've had everything. Show me something more. Show me something more, baby. I know nobody can save me, but look at what you gave me. You gave me you. Look at you, taking it down. They're calling you a clown, but you're never down. Sentence tripping hard, but I know you got this thing. Attachment only deceived us. Now tell me now what we got ahead of us. Country's sun sends a spin saying, always telling us, next job, next house, next car, next fix. Religion spinning sin, selling souls, taking money, buying tricks. How about this? You know, give me some of that. I got this. From that universal kiss, those sweet hurting lips. And she turns to me and says, how long we gonna be fearing? But you know, fear let me be rich, be a snitch, loved her pitch, swallowed up by her devil's lips, stripped, opened up and ripped, I was clipped. But now I feel the grip. Bite my lip, I'm still swollen up a bit. But I found the grit, I feel magnificent, so sentient, potent innocence. DNA inscriptions, light body physical inflictions, higher self prescription, and make you face the devil in you. TaylorKingBeats.com. Not living a lie, hell yeah, I'm high. It's a hell of a ride, death dies, no matter how hard they're trying. Veils lifted, sights shifted, been gifted, sorrow scripted, souls been grinded, grifted. It's all in our rear view now, ain't who wins, loses, lives, loves, lies, dies. Way gone is the elementary life. Down below, hells we know, hells we sow, nothing left to show. Liberation can't be shunned. Mothers, fathers, many sons, losing fear, having fun. Chakra spitting soul fire, not blocked, no more choke, exploding, kundalini-nosis, unveiling, compelling. But I'm nailing it now, and so are you. Gotta ground it till I'm found again. Higher ground comes around. Never ending. Never ending. Right. We're waiting for Boldi. I just talked to him a while ago. We tested all the tech. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? We're at a remote, secluded location in Northern California in a little bitty cabin that a dear beloved sister gifted to us. So we can get some work done, start doing some shows again, start getting some of our friends up on here. Let me send him a note, see if he's okay. Boldi, okay. Just hit the link. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay, oh, here he is. All right, let's see. Yep. All right. What's going on, everybody? Lyrian ships landing. Well, news. Let's see. Let me get your video on. Let me unmute you. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Todd.
Okay, I can hear you. I can't see you, so I'm sending you a note that says ask to start video.
Yeah.
You got it? Right on, man.
Hi, man. Hi, Todd. And hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is for you all.
You're in Romania?
Yes.
Where are you at?
Right now I'm in Romania.
Excellent, excellent. And we were supposed to do this about 10 days ago, but we couldn't get the tech part of it to work. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I've been, go ahead.
Yeah, everything in a divine time. And I know how awesome it was for you in Sedona.
Oh, it was pretty crazy, man. It was pretty wild. I'm just sharing this out to a few people. I mean, a few groups that we share with. So I don't know, we always just have a conversation on this show. And I think, I don't really even remember when I first saw you, but I know it was over a year ago. And then every now and then I check, on the group. I mean, I post in the group every day, but then I was looking at the top contributors, and like you put in like 20 posts a day in the Soulogy, like 500 to 600
Right.
a month.
Crazy, right?
That's a lot of work. I used to do the same thing, and then it got too big, and Rebecca's been running it. So that's why I said, we should just make you an admin. She's the only admin we have that's active. So yeah. So, and I just want to say, publicly, we appreciate all the stuff that you put out. You put out the perfect Soulogy frequency. You put out humor and depth and, the cosmic, the galactic, the celestial, elemental, all of it's in your messages. Yeah. So everyone wants to know who you are. Do you talk to many? Do you talk to many people on Messenger?
Not really. Only like about a few, very few. And let's say I watch your work, your incredible work, for quite some time. I feel like about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I appreciate it so much. And for what are you doing? And sometimes I'm just asking myself, if you and Rebecca Williams, do you ever sleep?
Yeah. That's what people are asking about you.
Yeah. To be honest, sometimes when I work, I take a coffee break. And during that coffee break, some posts just appear to me. And they are just resonating with me. And in that moment, I just post it. And probably sometimes it's like posting 5, 6, 10 posts in 5 minutes, something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always present. Yeah, tell me.
No, I'm just gonna say, when it comes, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to you, it comes to you. So
yeah.
I gotta say too that I saw your energy for a long time. I know it was over a year, maybe almost 2 years. And but I noticed a lot of people's energy. I don't really like look at their faces, or I just pick up little things here and there. And then I saw that post that you did, that video you did, your first live video.
Yes.
And Morgan saw it, and then she sent it to me right away, and you were still on. And I was like, wow, that was a really, really badass video. So, I mean, it sounds to me like you've been awake for a long, long time, the language that you speak and the depth of your understanding. How did it go down for you? Did you wake up? Did you go through a lot of trauma like a lot of people did, or?
Tell me somebody who is awake and he didn't cross a lot of drama during his lifetime. Show me somebody and I will eat him.
Well,
Yeah, from my point of view. Yeah, sorry, tell me.
no. You're good. I just was yours around 2012, give or take.
Exactly. It was, let's say, my whole life I was a seeker. I was seeking for the truth because I felt like there is always something beyond this so-called reality. And probably like most of us, I had, when I was a child, I had a lot of deja vu phenomenon. And I started like very slow. And during my marriage, I was like, let's say, hitting the rock bottom. And after my divorce, which it happened, you know what I mean? It happened in 2012. I said, okay, it's time to go back to my real me. And yes, everything started in 2012, like probably around, let's say, May, June, July, somewhere in that area, somewhere in that time. And it was interesting because after that, I had a lot of lessons, many of them about how I want to be things in my life, how I want to be as a person, as a soul, as a heart. And of course, it was painful, fucking painful. Sorry for my French, excuse my French, but
No, we speak that same French here at the Soulogy Network.
yes, thank you. And yes, it was painful. And let's say for now, everything, looking back, everything was a blessing in disguise, because all what happened to me was like I'm a little emotional when I think back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah, I know, man.
designed for a purpose. For me, becoming who I am, becoming aware of what I am, becoming aware of what I want in this world, because I'm not thinking only about me. Let's say in Soulogy group, I found my way of being in service for the others. And every time when I post something, I think like somebody is waiting for this message. Somebody is waiting for this encouragement. Somebody need to hear this. I don't post for likes. I don't post to be appreciated by people. And let's say for now, being in front of a camera, it's a great honor. And in the same time, being an admin in your group, it's the most honorable position, but in the same time, it is the most responsible job I can have. Yes, of course, I'm working in this 3D world. Of course, I'm earning a living, but in the same time, I don't forget that also I am a soul. Also, I carry, like all the others, like all of us, I carry the Christ consciousness in my heart. And sometimes I just joke about me being just a fucking big heart and nothing more. So,
But
short
it's a lot more, right?
Sorry?
No, I said it's a lot more than a big heart.
But let's say
It's
that I
soul.
care
Yeah.
for any soul present in this world. And if I may quote somebody, I have a dream, Todd. I have a dream about one day being able for us, all of us, as many of us, to just meet one day in 1 year, one day a year, to have this kind of meeting. I was talking with a very special soul to my heart, and we both agreed how beautiful it will be to have this kind of meeting. And if it is not possible to meet all of us in one place like United States, how wonderful it will be to have some gathering points in the same time at the same hour and covering this earth with a grid of love and consciousness.
Wow.
I have this dream. And I know someday, one day, let's say Woodstock was somehow a starting point for our parents' generation. How about we make our own Woodstock?
Yeah.
At a massive scale, like
Multi-dimensional.
Yeah, yeah.
Multi-locational, multi-dimensional.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm all for that. I want to be part of that dream.
You are. I feel you already are. And let's not forget how many people you gather together in this group, and also how many people are just looking at you. And you know, it was a moment. I remember it was a moment when I saw one of your video. I can't remember when it was, but you started that video like usual, and in some point I saw a real man. I'm not a ass kisser after all. Let's face it. But by the way, English is not my native language. So if I make some kind of mistakes, okay. So in that moment, I saw you and I was watching you, and in some point you started to cry in front of a camera. Being open to everyone, opening your heart, and in the same time allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And in that moment, I said, that is the new man. That is the raw model for every fucking man in this world. Not being afraid to show himself. It was a great moment. And from that moment, I remember I started to watch it constantly.
That was, yeah, I remember that one. That was a big one. That was on the. That was in July, I believe, July of 2017. I had gotten married to Morgan like a month or 2 months before that. But it was a very rough day. It was very heavy.
Yeah.
I got some bad news. I got some bad news from the government because I used to live in that matrix, but I don't live in that anymore. It's not in my reality. And yeah, it was pretty bad. In fact, I was at my friend's house, and she lives on a lake. They live on a lake, two of my friends. They did. And so I was like by myself. Everything was cut off. Morgan was cut off. I couldn't get a passport. And then I said to myself, I'm going to go out there tonight. I'm going to slip my wrist and I'm going to jump in the lake. I said that. That was only 15 months ago. And I think we have these moments. I've had more than that. That was an intense one. So then I went into the kitchen and I was thinking to myself, no, I can't do that. I can't let my friends find me like that. That's just not cool. And
Yeah.
then like four or five energies came in. Mother Goddess was one of them. And she was like, hey, go out there and get your phone and turn it on and do a live. And I did. Yeah. And I was like, I remember I was like, I was really hurting inside, like you said. It was fucking painful, all those traumas. But I was like I don't know how much further I can go. How much more do I got to put into it? And I know we've all felt this way, and we still do at times. But I'm here to tell you, and I know you're here to tell everybody that don't give up. We've gone past the hard part, but at that point, 15 months ago, I was like done, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep going. But if I don't make it, somebody else pick up the ball and keep going. So yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And that's what I liked about your first video, because you just went for a walk and you just started talking and it was real talk, you know. I think the highest activations, downloads, and transmissions come from these conversations, or somebody picking up the video or the camera or the phone and making a live video. Because when you when you push the button and go live, there is a difference. There's a huge difference between that, and I think sometimes it is good to pre-record something, like if you're going to teach a course or you're going to tell a story, but there's something about going live and just being you.
Yes.
And that's
Totally.
how this whole thing started with the videos. Was a lot of people know I was homeless for 2 years when I woke up, and I spent a lot of time walking. Most of my time I spent walking. I walked so much I didn't have nothing but skin and bones, in my body. But so I was always in a constant communion. And then it just came to me one time, like after I got off the streets and I started thinking about making videos, just go out there and do a spirit walk like you did by yourself, but invite everybody in. So you never
Yeah.
knew what was going to be said, just like when you did yours the other day. And I think you did another one after that. I think these are the things. That's why I encourage everybody, just pick up the camera, push live, and just start talking. It doesn't even matter what you're talking about. It doesn't even matter what you're talking about. Because you talk about a mirror. Did you watch the video of yourself?
Let's say 1, 2 times, yes. But after that, I just gave up on watching my own videos, because let's say like that. I'm born under the sign of Pisces, and my rising sign, or whatever you call it, my ascended sign is in Virgo. So of course, reviewing my videos, my monkey mind, as I call it, will say, oh, but you should do that, or you should continue with that idea or that idea. And it was interesting because my son was asking me, okay, daddy, why don't you keep some notes? Why don't you write some notes and just read it, or having some kind of guidance during your live videos? And I said, no, it's not my style. Every time I will speak from my heart, and I will speak as I feel in that moment, because it's important to express yourself. And let me tell you, I also had some kind of breaking moments, and I'm so fucking sure we all have our breaking moments. But in this moment, I feel like want to express my special gratitude for a special soul. I don't have the permission to disclose her name, but let's face it, when somebody is so helping you and somebody is so supporting you in everything you do, it's unbelievable. And I had my moment. It's the first time when I speak about it. I was last year somewhere in the mountains, and I was contemplating a bag full of pills. And the only thought I had in that moment, why don't I do it? It's so fucking easy to reset yourself, especially when you know. I had my near-death experience in 2008, and I really know how it is to be back home. And trust me, if let's say we are like 7 billion people in this moment, and only if half of us would know how it is home, they will go in just an instant. In a split of a second, they will decide to go home. So it's better for many of us not to know how it is home. And probably, let's say, probably sometimes you need to remember in order to change your life. And every time when I was on this breaking point, every time it was something which changed my mind, which helped me to go like una dia más, one more day, one more step,
one more day.
Yeah. So from my point of view, sometimes we have our earth angels beside us, and these kind of angels don't have wings, they only have scars, a lot of scars, a lot of suffering they had in their life, a lot of pain, but they are still able to support you. And for that, I'm totally grateful, and I bow my heart in front of every angel. And also, last year, I started for the first time to make some live videos on my page. And I was talking with this soul, and I was asking, but what I have to tell people who are probably watching me? She said, just your heart.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, you have this kind of boost in your life when somebody is saying, okay, put your heart on the table. And in that moment, you feel like you have no other options but to put your heart on the table. Being yourself as you are. Probably sometimes you are mad, sometimes you are just sad, and sometimes you are full of passion. Because because of her, I discovered how much passion I have in my heart, and how big this fire can be. And in the moment when you just forget about who is watching you beyond the screen, when you look at the screen and you see yourself like in a mirror, and you are just talking with yourself, that's all.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said we always talk about mirrors, and I don't watch myself. 3,500 productions, I don't watch myself. a long time ago. But the times that I have on, particularly when it was only me on the camera, like a spirit walk, there's been times that I connected to myself watching it and just went, whoa. And again, it wasn't some, multi-dimensional thing or galactic or angelic thing. It was just Todd being Todd. Like, that's what you're saying about yourself. That's what your friend's saying. And that's what works the most. That's why it doesn't even matter what you talk about.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you talk about. I get up today. This is our first morning in Northern California at this secluded cabin. And I was going to make a live, right? I was going to make a spirit walk. And I turned on Facebook and on the news feed and the news feed and messages, between 2 or 3 messages that I looked at in the news feed, people talking about, I saw one post and it was that the Marines have been deployed across the United States and the world. They're going to arrest 13,000 people and everyone's going to go to court and there's going to be a tribunal and the traitors are going to be hanged. And, I'm not making light. I'm not making light of that. I'm not making light of things that we see that are wrong. Pedophilia and child trafficking and the Vatican and any government, any government, I don't care which one it is, anything external. But the thing is, all they are is a distraction and a distortion of truth. They're a distortion of truth and they're a distraction. It's no different than one of us pulls down a channeling or a download and then conveys it to our friends through a post or a video. From the moment we receive it to the moment we start putting it out, it loses something because it has to go through the human part of us, which is still not in its perfection, so to speak.
Yeah.
But my point is that, it's taken away from us. It's taken away from us. And I do these 2 live videos since we've been here, and people were talking about miraculous natural occurrences with Mother Nature or an animal that's happening to them, and it's happening more and more and more. And these are the types of things that I'm talking about. These are the types of things that are actually the evidence. The evidence is these connections we have, like with this divine feminine that you're talking about that's been an angel in your life, or whatever the case is. These are the things that are actually can expand and grow all of us, contributing to ourselves and the collective, as well as changing what we're looking at on this movie that we're all watching. It's I don't know. It's just these types of conversations and connections to me that make that's it. It's not the information we're pulling in. It's not our relationship with divine essence or how many spaceships we've been beamed up on. It's about us. It's just about us. And in our imperfection, we're creating a higher perfection in this universe and in ourselves. It just doesn't look that way.
Well, from my perspective, we are all souls in our essence. And we are all divine beings and star seeds and light workers and all kind of labors.
Yes.
But in the end,
and shamans and mystics and witches and we're everything. Anyone out there that thinks that they're a shaman and no one else is, or I'm sorry, everybody's the same thing. It's the same thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. What I'm trying to say, we are soul, heart, and body. And many times, and I'm just sorry to say that it's not judgment, it's just observing things. Many times, the so-called light workers, or whatever, people are just refusing to accept that their body is their temple. You have to take care of mind, spirit, and body. the Holy Trinity. And
Yeah.
in the moment when you just refuse or deny something, oh, I am not my body. Really? Fuck off. You of course you are, so you are your body too. It's
That's
my
right.
way of talking. I am just talking
I
with my heart.
I talk that way from my heart. Sometimes people get upset, but I love it because
Yeah.
it's in the context and the intention. But you're right. And look, this is just as much a challenge for me as it is for anyone else to accept that the body is the Merkaba. The
Yeah.
body is the atomic. It's everything. It is the Merkaba. It is the starship. It is the entire universe encapsulated in this. Some people call it a fractal. I don't like that word, but the thing is, it's all right here,
Yes.
and we do have to respect the body, and I think we're all starting to come into that. And I don't think that anybody's got it figured out. I don't think you can say, oh, you got to be a vegan, oh, you got to do urine therapy, oh, you got to do this, so you got to do that. No, everybody is their own universe. Everybody will figure it out. We don't need to be hard on ourselves. If our body tells
Yes.
us something's okay, we know it.
Yes.
If our body tells us something's not okay, we know it.
Of
We
course.
know it. We all know it. And what's good for me might not be good for you. What's good for you might not be good for me. But our body's talking to us now because our body is more than the body. Our body is actually all of it.
Yes. And another thing that disturbed me, and I think it is time to stop it. This kind of dividing the humanity in two parts, awakened and sleepers. From my point of view, there are no sleepers in this world. There are only different kind of awareness, different levels of awareness. Maybe I am more aware than another person, but who the fuck know what is that person's soul plan? Maybe in 2 years, that person will be 10 times more aware than me.
Yeah, yeah.
So who am I, after all, here to judge people, to divide all the humanity in two parts? That is something that must be stopped right now. We all talk about oneness. It's wonderful. It's amazing. But how about them? Who loves them? And
Yeah.
think like Christ, for example, because I'm so related to this kind of quiet consciousness. I have it in my heart. Christ never judged anyone. So if an ascending being had this power to not judge anyone in this world, who the fuck are you to judge? Yeah, I'm talking
It's
like that
true.
with people because
Well,
they
you know,
need. Yeah.
yes. No, but you're right. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, I consider Soulogy and energy, just for clarification, not for Soulogy's sake or my sake. I consider it energy. I remember when I first was given it 2012, it was not an organization. I heard that. It's not an organization. And I started thinking about it. I thought, well, wait, that's weird. Well, what is it? It's an energy. Because every time I looked at a group or an organization, there was always separation. There's
Yes.
always either you're over here with us or you're over there with them.
Yes.
And in some arenas, you have two, like Republican and Democrat. We know that's a joke, but I mean, you have believers and non-believers, or
Yes.
whatever the case is, right? And so I totally get that. And I think what we fail to remember is that the light worker community is no different than a church or an organization or many other types of groups of people where there's some
Yes.
type of indoctrination. What I think we also got to remember is that whatever's bothering us, we're saying, oh, they're spiritual bypassing. Oh, they're wrong about this. Oh, they're wrong about that. No, 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 no. There's something in me that is not balanced, that has a problem with somebody else, because every time I make one of those statements, I am judging,
Yes.
because I'm putting myself over here and I'm putting them over there.
Yes.
There's a difference. People say, and they're right. I'm not judging. I'm making a statement, a fact, a truth. And sometimes we're right, sometimes we're not. But when we look at somebody or something and say that's over there and I'm over here, we are the point of separation. We ourselves are the point of separation. There is nothing outside of us that can separate anything. It is only us that can separate. And that's something that I think, a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years ago would have been hard to accept and understand. But I think that there's enough collective awareness and expansions going on that we can actually get our arms around this and actually start to embody it and act it every single day.
Yeah.
And if you use the F word, that's fine. It just makes it, think about it. That's a great example. Use the F word. Some people are going to say, I get that. I know how he meant that. It wasn't distasteful. And other people are going to have a problem with it.
Yeah, because we are judgmentals.
Well, because there's something inside of them that needs that they're not owning. You can't say I am that, but I'm not that. I am that means I am everything, anything and everything, Alpha and Omega, top to bottom, front to back,
Yeah.
whatever. But you can't say I am that, but I'm not that.
Most of the time, I just watch people reactions, and I remember I had some time ago, I had a comment on one post. Somebody was posting something in Soulogy, something related to the heart, and I wasn't in my, let's say, I wasn't really myself. I was feeling sad, and I was expressing that sadness. Guess what? Only one person was a little bit disturbed, or a little bit more disturbed, and saying, oh, you are lowering my energy, you are lowering my vibration. Okay. Is it me, or am I just a trigger for something inside you?
Exactly. And that's okay. That's actually a gift.
Yes.
It's actually a gift. Some of the people that I was going to say, some of the people that I like, some of the people, some of the people that I like to read their stuff. I don't read much stuff, and I don't agree with everything that they put up. But what I like about their style is they make you think.
Yes.
They make you think. If somebody can make you think, to me, that's kind of a soft trigger. That's what that is. If you have the openness to read something with an open mind, and you can handle something or someone that you don't particularly agree with, but you can actually take it in and look at it, and it makes you think, that's a beautiful soft trigger. We're normally, focused on or more aware of the triggers where we go, oh, that's not me. Oh, that's not me. Oh, they did this and they did that. I've been talking to Morgan about this for a couple of days. We talk about everything all the time, whatever. But I've had people unfriend me, say things about me, say things about Soulogy, say things about my wife. And I'm not talking about, this isn't the subject I'm getting at. I'm not bitching about it. Yeah. But really, it's been a great gift, because these are the people that I bring up every day in my head. And sometimes I'll even go to their page and I'll bring them up and I'll look at them and I'll work to bring them more and more and more myself in alignment, more and more non-judgmental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More looking at that person as me. And I'm not saying it's easy, and I don't think anybody's got it figured out, but I do think that when we have the desire, like you said, people can talk about oneness, but when you have the desire to actually take that to the bank, I mean, actually take it as far as you can take it in the time that you have in that day or whatever, right? I think that you're going to get the results that you're seeking.
in one of my conversation with somebody, and maybe she will see this video later. I
Well,
hope
whoever
so.
she is, she sure puts a big smile on your face.
Okay, so I was talking with her, and again, I say we are like about probably 7 billion people. How boring it will be if we would be the same, like the same feelings, the same thoughts, like robots.
Yeah.
And our uniqueness make this world so wonderful. For example,
Yes.
in my field of work, I meet a lot of people every day, probably somewhere between 200 and 300 people a day. So from every meeting I have, I can still learn something.
That's right.
Even when somebody is coming to my desk, to my office, and that person is angry and expressing through a lot of hard words, and very difficult clients after all. That is it is a lesson for me about how I don't wanna be, and I don't want to act in front of other people under no circumstances. Yes, I still have my problems at home. I still have my personal issues. But when I get in contact with people, I put aside all my personal things, and I'm there for them 100%, 1000%, because
Right.
they need. And in the moment when somebody is asking your help, and you are just expressing your personal frustration, guess what? You crush that soul into small pieces. That soul is coming to you for something. It doesn't matter if it is a spiritual thing or it is a material thing. Like maybe they want some help to solve some issues. It doesn't matter. That person has a lot of confidence in you being able to at least say a good word, at least.
Yeah.
It's not much about it. Every time when I meet a person, I act and I try to be like I wanna be treated when I go somewhere or I go to somebody, with kindness, understanding. And I know it's a hard job to put yourself in the other one's shoes, but at least you can do is to try, at least try to put yourself and to understand that soul. Because after all, in the essence, we are all souls. We are
That's right.
we are not the color of our skin. We are not the sum of our cultural background. We are souls after all.
Yeah.
And in the end, this is that wonderful oneness we are all talking about.
That's right.
But I don't judge. Yes, we are talking, but some are just in that part of just talking.
Yeah.
And you don't feel the fire. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's right. You don't. No, you're right though. You're right. The more you don't feel the fire. People feel truth. People feel the truth frequency. So it doesn't even matter if somebody's, in your opinion or my opinion, if somebody's doing something wrong or they're saying the wrong thing. It doesn't even matter, because the truth is not going to allow that to have any impact, because it doesn't have any impact. Somewhere along the line, it's flawed, just like we all have flaws.
Yeah.
I mean, we're actually getting to a place where we're all starting to have a little cohesion with our experiences. I can see it, especially in the last few days with these 2 little lives I've done since I was here, and the comments that people are making. It's an energy. It's more than the comments. It's actually a frequency that people are picking up on. Oh, I had an incredible morning this morning. Oh, I fed a moose or an elk, I think she said, with our hands. It was a gentle animal. We ran into a bear. You know, all these different things that are happening that are not involving super galactic, cosmic, other universal stuff. Though those
Yes.
things might be there, it's actually what's right in front of us. What's right in front of us is there's so much right there. You know, people are seeing fairies or filming fairies. You know, I mean, there's lots of things happening, but most important and the most powerful place things can happen are these gatherings that you're talking about, because in those gatherings, one of 2 things will happen, because I've been to a few. One, you're going to have incredible soul recognition with other souls. That's going to
Yes.
be way beyond bullshit, way beyond bullshit, way beyond a fake I love yous, way beyond codependent frequencies. You're going to have real soul recognition with people. Or the other thing that will happen is you will have projection.
Yes.
You will have people that either without something being said or something being said or their perspective or whatever the case is, because there's light being shown on all of us, that shadow's going to come out. And in these cases, you will see that. I've met a lot of people on Facebook. They're not always the same. And I've met a lot of people on Facebook that were huge, huge energies way beyond their persona on Facebook. And they're usually the quiet ones.
Yes.
The more reserved ones, right? Not always, but I'm just saying it. You know, going back to what we started this, you know, episode about was pretty much about your first video, and then you were talking about my videos that you saw and all that. There's a lot to be said for the mirror. And I know this sounds strange because I don't watch anything I do very rarely anymore. But there's something about the mirror of your own image that you can learn so much from. It's a lot like meeting somebody that you've met on Facebook and then you meet them in person. There's either going to be huge soul recognition, or there's going to be huge light cast on shadow. You know, I mean, and you can, and it's okay. It's okay. You know, that you can learn from the revelation of your shadow. It's okay. You know, one of the great things about making videos live is that, and I figured this out after 10 or 15 times I did it. They're all pretty much one take. But if you push the button and post it, it's done.
Yes.
So you push the button and then you just let it go. And I believe me, I have memories come up that are 3, 4, 5 years old of me doing a video, and I'm looking at this guy going, "Holy shit, what the hell was he thinking?" You know. But I have to respect. But I have to respect the fact that, and it doesn't, not because it's me, but I have to respect the fact that that guy, whatever he was talking about, he was coming from the heart. He may have been shadowed, he may have been scarred. You know what I mean? He may have been angry. He may have been hungover. Who knows what he was? But at least he was doing it, and that's why even some of these people that I said openly rubbed me the wrong way, or that I just, whatever the case is, I respect the fact that they get up and do it day in and day out. There's something to be said about putting it out there that this world needs.
Well, let's say there is a moment in everyone's life when they feel in a way pushed by their hearts to step on what they think or what they feel it is their mission. For example, starting around August 1st, I was hearing this message: let your heart roar, let your heart to be seen. step on in front of the others. It's time for you to step on, because this is what you need to tell to the people. Every time when I make a live video, I'm having a certain subject I have in mind. But many times after I push the button to start, that subject is gone, because it was the product of my mind, not my heart. I was thinking with my monkey mind, I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about that. And many times, maybe I start about something, but in the end, I finished talking about love, about how important it is to love yourself, to take care of yourself, and in the same time to love the others like you love yourself. It's all of my life I was singing, talking, I was speaking about love, even about romantic love. Fuck off. Of course, this life is also with romantic love, but romantic love in some kind of awareness, if I make sense to you.
Yes.
A very aware romantic love. Yes, I love you unconditionally, but I don't let you put me down. We are all
no
equal.
bullshit.
No bullshit. Yes.
That's right.
Totally open.
That's right. That's
and
a good
that's
point.
When you,
So
yes. Yeah, tell me. Sorry.
No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. No, there's a lag. That's why it sounds like we're interrupting each other. But,
okay.
So you're basically saying that romantic love is part of this experience, but it's not the romantic bullshit love. It's
yes.
a romantic love from a higher level of awareness. So I like that because it does not, because it keeps the human part of it in there. It's just not that codependency and the false I love yous and the habits and the patterns that we have, that we are the roles that we play within the relationship, because that's what we're told. But actually using the same expanded awareness that we use in our daily life as an individual, you can now take that into well, not just romantic, but any relationship, really. It's conscious relationships, I guess. All right, consciously aware relationships.
Yeah, let's say I'm a sucker for romantic love. I'm a sucker for love stories, and really, I love your love story with Morgan. You're unbelievable. And I think you are also setting an example about what is the new pattern of being in a relationship. Because for now and for the future, I feel like for the future, I love you because I love you. Not because you are loving me, not because you are doing things for me. And definitely, love is not a currency. I give you love, you give me love. I give you something, you give me something. It's not the way a relationship, and of course, any kind of relationship should work. I water you because I am a big heart, and I want, and everything that matters for me is your happiness. No matter if you're doing the same. But in the moment when I am giving you all my life, all my heart, all my body, and you just keep bullshitting me, that has to be stopped. Cut off. Yeah.
Yeah.
The real
and there's a lot of that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Tell me.
No, there's a lot. There's the real relationships. What? Go ahead.
The real relationship is about being equals. It's about sharing in common a lot of things. It's about setting somehow the freedom for the other one. Happiness and freedom of the other person are as much important as my freedom and my happiness. I remember something from the Facebook was saying, give the one you love wings to fly and reason to stay. And I think it's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
Not to put the other one in a fucking cage and saying, oh no, I own you and you are my property.
Yeah.
You are my husband. You are my boyfriend. You are my fucking whatever. No.
Yeah.
I love you. I hug you. But if you want to go, just go.
Yeah.
But in the same time, I'm here for you always. And I know you come back, and I trust you to let you go, knowing that you won't cheat me, you won't lie to me, you won't whatever. That's bullshit right. After all.
Yeah. 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 That's deep. I got some of that last night in our little communion last night. I got some of that. I remember I didn't remember it till you said it, but it was a deeper surrendering, a deeper allowance.
Yes.
We had a very, very intense 3 or 4 hours last night with just our hands like this and all this stuff happening. But it was a deeper surrender, like deep surrender. And we were shown things in regard to like this, the new template or the new relationship, which is a million times different than what we've all been used to. It's multidimensional. It's supernatural. But it's still, the human is still at the core of it all. But it's a really powerful, profound process that we're going through, and I'm sure others are going through it too. But like you said, everybody has a role. I think that's part of our role, and I'm glad that now part of your role is, and that I'm glad that you agreed to, take on. Made you an admin in Soulogy because you're just putting it out all the time. You're putting this stuff out, and it just felt right. It's intuitive, and I would encourage you to keep doing lives and putting them in the group, and maybe we'll start something there. Maybe more people will start doing it. More people will start doing it. Those type of things, and we'll do some more shows together if you want to.
Of course.
But you better ask.
My pleasure.
But you better ask your friend if we can use her name. I'm kidding. Okay. I think I figured it out already. Anyway.
Let's keep it that way.
Okay. All right. I'll see you later, brother. You take care.
Thank you, brother. And it is my honor to serve everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for showing.